Alright, first off we're going to start talk about states of matter. The first one is a solid. It has a definite shape and volume. That ball is...
Now I'm going to talk about liquids. Liquids have an indefinite shape but a definite volume.
I'm your guest star, Oprah Winfrey. I'm going to talk about gas.
Gases have an indefinite volume and shape. I'm going to be explaining types of matter. The first kind is pure substances, which are elements and compounds. This ring is silver, which is an example of an element. And this is baking soda, which is an example of a compound. The other type is mixtures. There's heterogeneous and homogeneous mixtures. This is a heterogeneous mixture, and it's oil and vinegar, and you can see that they don't mix. And this is pancake syrup, which is a homogeneous mixture.
Alright, so today we're going to be showing you distillation. We have a simple setup here to explain it. For example, we have salt water around a cup with a rock in it to hold it down once we put the water in a bowl. Once the salt's dissolved in water, it'll evaporate up into the plastic wrap that we'll put over it, and we'll put a rock on top of that, and it'll drip down, or once the water evaporates, it'll drip down from the plastic wrap to the bucket, and we'll have clean water in there and salt water outside. If you decide to try this at home, make sure you don't get any water in the cup, and make sure you don't get a cup that floats, like this one. And if you do get a cup that floats, make sure you can have a big enough rock to sink it. That works. Then you cover it up. And you put a rock in the center, so it has a center point to drip down to. And we'll come back and check on that in a few minutes. Go ahead and check on the distillation thing. Alright, so we're going to take off the plastic and the rock, of course. Let's see, that one's stuck, so we're going to do this side. Take that off and pull the thing out. What do you know? There's water in there. And not salty. So now we're going to show you filtration. Every day, your parents may wake up in the morning feeling tired and make some coffee or tea.
Not mine.
Thank you, Cory. But it basically works on a system of filtration. Basically, when you put coffee grinds into a coffee filter,
Oh my gosh.
then hot water is poured through the coffee grinds to take out the coffee flavor and puts it through the strainer. As you can see at the bottom, it only filters out the water and the coffee flavor, but the grinds are still on top.
That looks delicious.
The latter method is an easy way for finding conversions. You have kilo, hecto, deca, base, deci, centi, and milli. Kilo is the greatest, while milli is the smallest. Your base are meters, liters, etc. And all you do is say you have 7 kilometers. You start at kilo and you go down until you get to decameters if you're trying to convert from kilo to deca. So that would be 1, 2. So that's how many times you move the decimal place. An easy way to remember this is King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. These are the formulas for calculating temperature. The first one is Celsius to Kelvin. As you can see, the formula is the temperature of Kelvin equals temperature of Celsius plus 273.15. When you plug in 10 for degrees Celsius, you get 283.15 degrees Kelvin. From Fahrenheit to Celsius, the formula is Celsius equals 5/9 times Fahrenheit minus 32. When you plug in 41 for Fahrenheit, you get 5 degrees for Celsius. For Celsius to Fahrenheit, the formula is Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times degrees Celsius plus 32. When you plug in 5 for degrees Celsius, you get 41 degrees for Fahrenheit. Density, you use the formula density equals mass over volume, and you can rearrange it so that you can solve for mass or for volume.
Alright, now we're going to talk about mass versus weight. You see, mass is the amount of stuff that's inside of you, you know, like matter and atoms and things like that. The more matter you have, the more mass you have. And weight is proportional to gravity. Right now I'm on Earth, so the amount of mass I have is pulling down, or gravity is pulling down on my mass, making me heavier, which is weight.
I'm in space, so I have no weight, but I still have mass. Hi, I'm Sarah, and I'm going to undergo a physical change. I look different, but I'm still Sarah. Now I'm going to undergo a chemical change.
See how Sarah's doing.
I am no longer Sarah. I went through a chemical change.
Now we're going to talk about significant figures. Cory and Justin are any number 1 through 9, and the ball is a decimal point, and the frisbees they're holding are zeros. Okay, let's talk about the rules. The first rule is that all non-zero digits are significant.
Yay! I like being significant.
So Cory and Justin are significant. The second rule is that zeros appearing between non-zero digits are significant. So the zeros between Cory and Justin are significant.
Yay!
The third rule is that leftmost zeros appearing in front of non-zero digits are not significant.
Oh.
The fourth rule is that zeros to the right of all non-zero digits are significant only if there's a decimal point somewhere in the number.
Yay!
And the last rule is that zeros to the right of all non-zero digits without a decimal point are not significant.
Get out of here! Get out of my house.
Now you know chemistry.
That did not hurt. Don't be such a baby.
Don't be such a baby, Sarah.
Ready?
I was harmed in the making of this film.
Shaka on, shaka on. Oh God.
Okay, I'm going.
Alright, we're gonna start off with states of matter. The first one is a solid. Dang it.
Lots of drama on the recording stick. Lots of anger.
We gotta like catch Sarah on fire because that'd be a change.
Well,
No one's ever gonna help you, Sarah.
Meteor.
it's the UFO over.
All right, Sarah, get it moving. You're not a big.
Basically, when you put coffee grinds into a coffee filter, like so, you put them in a coffee filter. Then.
When you come into your coffee filter.